Hi everybody, welcome to Atheists, Humanists, and Agnostics 8th Annual Freethought Festival. My name is Gwen Salm. I'm the Vice President of AHA, and I'm here to introduce our wonderful President, Emily Pyszora. This is Emily's third year as a leadership team member and second year as President. She is a social welfare and sociology major with a certificate in gender and women's studies. She's going to be here next year for graduate school to earn a master's in social work, and she hopes to work in the foster care system in her future. Please welcome Emily.
Hi, everyone. So, like Gwen said, I'm Emily Pyszora, and I'm the president of Atheists, Humanists, and Agnostics, or we like to refer to it as AHA or AHA. I first wanted to thank you all for coming to the 8th Annual Freethought Festival. This is the largest event that we put on as a group, and we're excited that it's here after a whole year of planning. And like I said, I'm the current president of AHA. I've been doing this for the past 2 years. And I'd like to kind of share who AHA is, what we do, and what purpose we serve on campus. So, money is probably the most confusing thing when it comes to us. We're very lucky that we are funded, and our university lets their student organizations get funding. We get funding through segregated fees, which every student pays each semester. It's roughly about $550 each. And this money goes into this big fund that is the General Student Services Fund. And in this pool of money, it goes to pay for things like bus passes, rebuilding the union, and then like university health services and stuff. And then about 2% of that goes to groups like ours. And since technically the students pay for the service of our group, we're lucky that we don't have to have dues for our members. And it's important to note that this money is allocated in a viewpoint neutral manner, so therefore we have an equal chance of being eligible to get funding, like a group, Badger Catholic, and us both have an equal chance. Hopefully because of that there isn't any discrimination happening, and yeah. An example of one of the services that we get to provide with this money is this conference, and to bring in awesome speakers so our students can learn from and grow. Lastly, there's a governing board of students which make up the Student Services Finance Committee, and this committee of students decides where the segregated fees come from. And so they get to decide, approve our budget proposal, make sure that we're using our money how we said we would, etc. So it's kind of a lot, but overall we're able to receive money, and our leadership team members are able to get paid because of that, and therefore we're able to provide even better services for our students on campus, specifically secular students. And yeah, the main idea for that is students working for students. Now I'd like to tell you a bit more specifically about AHA at UW-Madison. We are the only student organization that's specifically a space for secular students. Our mission is to promote the discussion of faith, religion, and lack thereof on campus. We seek to educate students on issues important to the secular community and encourage the personal development of one's religious identity, and provide a support group for those who may be struggling with issues regarding their faith or lack thereof. That is our more official mission statement, but let me tell you what that looks like in real life. The main and longest running, most occurring program that AHA has is our weekly meetings, every Thursday, 7 p.m., Ingram Hall 224. And these meetings are discussion-based and generally done in large groups or small groups. And our leadership team members are the ones who create and lead these meetings. And our meeting topics change every week. It's a variety of different science, philosophical, and social issues that we talk about. Some examples of topics we did this year were body positivity, the origins of the universe, conspiracy theories, atheism in politics, cults, what it means to live a good life, international relations, biohacking, and moral conflicts. just to name a few. And this is where we're able to collaborate and hear different thoughts from each other in the secular community on campus. And we predominantly do get people who identify as free thinkers or non-religious, but we also do have the important population of people who might be questioning their faith. And also we do get a lot of religious people who join us as well. And overall, we just try and attend these weekly meetings to be a safe and welcoming space for all to share their ideas, learn from each other, even though we do mainly focus on issues that are secular issues and topics that may align with humanist values. So along with these larger group meetings, we also have smaller, more intimate and personal conversations at our office, which this is a picture of our office. It's in the Student Activity Center. You can check out our website to come see when we have our office hours. You're always welcome to pop by. But since we do have this nice new big office that we got about 2 years ago, we're able to have small group discussions. Like I said, more intimate personal discussions. And we call this program Secular Space. These happen about bi-weekly. It's a little bit less debate style than our normal weekly meetings, but it's a great space to have more personal, private discussions, a little bit more relaxed. Some topics we've discussed with this program is dating while secular, dealing with death, and interacting with religious friends and family during the holidays. So kind of going along with that, a little bit more personal, intimate conversations. And these type of conversations and support from others in the secular community are important for non-religious students to have. We're so happy that we're able to have this program because this type of community doesn't exist many places. So we find that secular peer support really important. Also, for these past 2 years, since getting our new office, we've also been trying to reach out to those who identify with the HA of AHA, or the Humanists and Agnostics. Sometimes with the label of being an atheist club can come off as scary to some people, or they might think, oh, I'm not atheist enough to join your group, I'm not fully identifying as atheist yet. So we feel that these more smaller group discussions are kind of a good gateway for people to kind of hear more of others' thoughts and not feel so nervous about it, I guess. But yeah, a lot of people think we only do firebrand atheist type things, or that we only sit around and hate on religion, which we don't do. So these groups are nice for students to come and get a taste about what the secular community is. We also have been trying to be a more inclusive place for marginalized groups of people. It's no secret that the secular community is not always and has not always been welcoming to people of color and women. So we feel it's our duty as young secular people to be at the forefront of change within our community. We want to set example for future secular people to come. We're not perfect, but we have been more active with this and hope of becoming more inclusive space through our program called Secular Intersections, which is the poster here. This is similar to secular spaces that I described before, our smaller group discussions in our office. But with Secular Intersections, it's located in our office about once a month. The difference between this and our other small group discussion is that Secular Intersections aims to create an intentional space for marginalized groups of people within the secular community to discuss shared experiences and struggles. This is an intentional space meant specifically for the group of people that we're holding the discussion for that particular week. And we have different types of secular intersections. We have them for people who identify as being secular and also are part of the LGBTQ community, people who are secular and also are a person of color, and also for those who are secular and identify as a woman. Along with these discussions between our in-group of secular folk, we also have interfaith discussions and discourse between us and a variety of religious organizations on campus. This is important to us to show that secular people and religious people can, in fact, get along and support each other. as we recognize that there's a need for each of our groups on campus for the betterment of the students. One of our favorite events we do with religious groups is called Random Acts of Kindness Day. This was about a year ago, this picture. For this, we stood at the bottom of Bascom Hill, which is the hub of campus, where many people walk by every day. And we were with members from Badger Catholic, Hillel, and the Muslim Student Association. And we handed out different, business cards that said happy things, like you are making a difference, you are loved, and handed them out to students as they walked by. And this was really nice to do with an interfaith, or as an interfaith community, to show that we all support kindness and happiness and healthiness on campus. Another yearly event we do is a debate with Badger Catholic. That's a very popular one. I say debate a little loosely because it is a debate format, and we do, of course, defend our own sides, but we do so in a respectful manner always, and we think it's important to show that we are able to create a big event like that and collaborate with each other. Along with having shared interactions and collaborations and conversations with other religious organizations, AHA finds it particularly important that we are always social advocates for religious freedom, no matter what. This has especially become more prevalent in the times of violence and harm that has happened to groups of faith, such as the Muslim community in New Zealand, or even here in our own community, when the Jewish community was targeted when a local synagogue was vandalized in 2017. AHA actively stands in solidarity with these communities and call to action that all of those in the secular community do as well. Through all of these things, AHA has focused more on building bridges with religious people and religious communities for everyone's benefit. Secular people can often be hurt and upset by religion, whereas I'm sure many of you understand and feel, which is valid, but it does not mean that secular folk should not be respectful. We all live on this earth together and want to continue to have a more positive interaction within these interfaith circles. So like I said, us as young secular folk want to be at the forefront of that. Now I'd like to share with you some of the other things AHA does, which is displays. This is one of the things that gets the most traction and talk on campus. The first display we have here is our God Graveyard. Some of you might have seen this circling on Reddit, other places on the internet. We put this display up every Halloween, and this display says, the main point of the display says, "Graveyard of the gods, here lie the graves of hundreds of past gods, once worshipped by entire civilizations, now resigned to the realm of myth. How do current religious practices fall into this larger historical narrative?" Now, I will admit this is probably the most firebrand atheist type thing we do as a group, but we think that this display is important to get the student body thinking about their faith or lack thereof, or at least gets people thinking about religion and the ideas around it overall. The next display we have, and then there's a picture of us all cute after setting it up at the bottom. And then another picture of us setting up. This was actually this past Tuesday at 6 a.m. We all got up to put up the Atheists, Humanists, Agnostics sign and the You Are Not Alone sign. And this display was put up on Bascom Hill as well, which is, again, the hub of Madison campus. And this was overall to promote our group, and as you can see, we put up the sign saying "You Are Not Alone." This is for people who may not realize that there is a secular group on campus, and also for them to know that we're here for them if they need them. There is a community here for them. Or if they just want to learn more, they're welcome to come by. Another display that we have is one that we put up in the Wisconsin Capitol building. It's our Valentine's Day display. This year we put up the display that said, "Happy Valentine's Day. Love is love regardless of beliefs, gender, race, sexuality, or anything else that makes each of us unique." And then brought to you by AHA. This display we wanted to put up to show that AHA accepts any type of person and accepts the way and accepts people in any way that they love and anything that they are. And And we also, along with the Valentine's Day display, we usually put up displays in our Capitol Rotunda that aims to promote the freedom of religion, freedom from religion in law, policy, and government. But this was the one that we chose to put up this year. And as you can imagine, displays like these both get a lot of traction and attention, and we think it's important as a secular people have our voices heard on campus and in our government. And by doing these things, we think it helps to promote that, both to show people that we as secular, to show people what we as secular people think and what our values are, and also to show that we should be represented, and also that there is a community here in Wisconsin and on campus. And then here's some other pictures of AHA out in action in the community. We are in these bottom two pictures. We were this was from this was from this past summer, August time. We were in the Madison Pride Parade as AHA. And then the top picture is us doing our annual Mifflin Street pickup, trash cleanup. If you didn't know, there's a giant block party that happens every year by the UW-Madison students towards the end of the spring semester. And as you can imagine, it gets a little hectic, a little wild, and people aren't always the best about cleaning up their trash. So we at AHA decided, well, the Sunday after it, let's go do some good deeds, some good volunteer work to make our community more beautiful. And we cleaned up the recyclables and trash after that party went down. But yeah, overall, just want to be here and make Madison a better community, and think doing volunteer work like that is important because to show that not just religious groups do these things, that we do these things as well. And with that all said, I'd like to invite you to follow us on Facebook. The link's up there, or you can just search in the bar here. And also, you can look up our website, ahauwmadison.org. Feel free to take your phones out if you want. We'd love to have you stay updated and join our online community if you have not already. But yeah, we put blog posts up on our Facebook and our website, and just kind of so you know what events we have coming up, stay updated for Freethought Festival 9, many things like that. And then lastly, I'd just like to end by giving a giant and huge thank you to the leadership team members that make up AHA and keep our group running. We're all full-time students, and the fact that we are still able to put on the largest secular-run conference, I think, shows what a dedicated and motivated group of sorry, this is my last year in AHA, getting a little emotional early. But I think we're just overall really motivated, dedicated group of individuals. I appreciate everyone on the team, and they're truly what makes the club what it is. And I'm really proud of all of us. I've learned so much from each of them. I feel so grateful to be surrounded by a group of people and friends that support each other and inspire me every day and leave me in awe of what they're capable of. And then that's all I have for you. Thank you for letting me come up and tell you about our group. As you can see, it's really important that we're here on campus, and we hope to see more groups around Wisconsin and in the nation show up so that secular people have a place like this. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of our inspiring speakers to come the rest of the weekend, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Freethought Festival 8. Thank you.